Okay guys, I'm gonna start in a minute, just for everyone to gather a lost smokes and whatnot. Okay, so this is the card. Cool. So we can get started. Press the button. Press the button. Press this button. Okay. See if that works. So just wanted to start off by thanking our sponsors, BBD, AXO, and OfferZen for our wonderful swag this season of AI. Much appreciated. So do go follow them on our socials. Just want to see my clicker is not clicking. Might need to restart. Oh, there we go. Cool. Go back. Thank you. It's not behaving. So let me first introduce myself to you, those who don't know me. Hi, my name is Henny, and I currently work for Capitec Bank as a software engineer, and I'm based in Cape Town. So just a gentle reminder for here in Cape Town. Here is something coming. We don't speak of it. We just mention to the gods. Be very gentle. So load shedding now is in effect, and the slides will be in dark mode as it should be. So for my socials, you can follow me on my website, LinkedIn, Facebook, GitHub, X, whatever you want to do it. And then for the lazy people, there's a QR code to scan that will take you to my website. So on the agenda today, we'll do some introduction to GitHub Copilot. For those who do not know, I'll chat about Copilot. The promise and realities they introduced into our ecosystem, some myth busting, because there's a lot of myths about Copilot, and then really to keep control, and how do you do that. So I thought this would be a very fitting slide. Who's a software engineer in this crowd? Okay, what does my friends think I do? If you come to me and ask me to fix your printer, I'm going to throw it with a printer to you. I don't fix printers. But then, what does my wife think I do? Sit in meetings all day, because I do. But then, what does society think I really do? And that is really true. Society thinks you're a coder or an engineer or some form of somewhere in IT. You'll hack NASA for some odd reason. Then what does my boss think I do? Sometimes this is true, but we don't tell them that. What do I think I do? I sit behind a lot of screens. And yes, I do have a lot of screens. Not as much as that, but I do have a lot of screens at home. But then, what do I actually do? Spend most of my days using AI to solve the problems for me. Because why? It's there. Use it. So, it started off with GitHub. Somewhere we need to store our code. But that was not enough. So, they matched up with AI and OpenAI and introduced a little thing called GitHub Copilot. It's founded by OpenAI and GitHub. And the nice thing about it, there's 1 million or over 1 million paid subscribers. More than 50,000 businesses still use it today, and around about 55% of our engineering developers use it actively today. And that's really why it's the world's most widely adopted AI developer tool. And we'll see in coming now why. So anyone can tell me what's the difference between Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, and ChatGPT? What's the difference? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. You had hand up? No. Yeah. So the main difference is the GitHub Copilot is more focused for your code specifically. It understands context, and you can only ask them coding questions. You can't ask them to write me a business document, some of this, some of that, where ChatGPT is more relevant to that type of documentation. But the main difference, what makes Copilot and different from ChatGPT, it can basically write unit tests for you, and we'll see that a bit later. Documentation. Who loves documentation? Copilot is a really, really good tool for documentation. And also unit tests. To write your unit test, it explains code really well because it is in context, relevant, keeping your tabs open, and it really explains the code, what it sees. And if you are assigned on a new project and you really need to understand this piece of code, use Copilot to say, please explain to me this, and you'll have a greater idea of what's going on in the code than rather you taking step by step trying to figure out what this engineer does. Because let's be honest, we all code different and we all have our own way of designing things, but Copilot can really understand for you your code. So the question is, do we use Copilot to solve our problems or write code? What's your guys' opinion? Solve problems. Who thinks Copilot who can solve our problems? 50-50. And who thinks it can only write code? Okay, so the beauty of it is it does both. It solves our problems because we bounce ideas and things off of Copilot, but also it can generate code for us. So the purpose of Copilot is to code faster with providing context to Copilot and Copilot providing us examples, but also it's less effort that gives us more energy to solve problems and collaborate. So now here comes the fun part, the promise versus reality. Does Copilot do language support? Can I code with it? Yes, I can. Can it complete my code for me? Definitely. And can it write unit tests? And it's really, really good at unit testing because we have seen people don't write unit tests. Can it refactor my code? Most definitely. And can it, as we know now, yes, it can write documentation. But now, can it deploy our software for us? No, it cannot. Wish it could make our lives easier. Can it join meetings for us? No, unfortunately not. Can it write exams for us? I wish to. Makes life a lot easier. Can it order pizza? It can. But can you order today pizza now? Going on ChatGPT Copilot and order pizza from a pizza delivery. Any integration as today now. No. But that's a good business idea. It can tell you that. And yes, it should be on pizza. And no, unfortunately, can't make us coffee either. But maybe next year. Never know. It would be nice. So, who knows what's Gigo? There we go. As you can see, a little mouse is throw garbage in and still garbage out. That's the caveat of Copilot. If you give it garbage, it will give you garbage back. It needs to really understand what you're talking about, the context you want it, the style you want it. And you have to not write me an essay. Okay, about what? Where, in what setting, you know? So If you give it garbage, it will only give you garbage. So really provide content. We'll go through a different slide where we really talk about the context of what you should be giving it. But there's also myths. Will AI take my job? No. There's, as we saw in previous talks, it really needs that human interaction. Unfortunately, I mean, my job is to make coffee myself. It can't do that yet, but never know. Can Copilot write perfect code? Definitely not. That's where that human interaction is still needed, because without perfect code, we'll all be working to fix our bugs. Only juniors and seniors can use this. That's a big debate. Why? When should you use Copilot? When not? Everyone should use it. I'm an experienced senior, 22 years in IT. I still use Copilot. It's just, how do you use Copilot to really enhance your developer experience? And then also it only works with GitHub. Who agrees with that? No, because it's in your IDE. It lives where you code. So content switching is a thing of the past. As you code, you write code and you ask GitHub Pilot in your inline questions, and it can answer you and help you. And then another myth: no more learning required. GitHub Pilot's not going to learn you. It's going to guide you. So the age-old question: how do we keep control to really enhance our GitHub experience? As we said, write detailed prompts. Give it much detail and content as you need to give it. If there's no content, you're not going to understand and you're not going to get to the answer. As Jay said, you need to go through a few iterations to get to what you really want. But from shot one, if you give it all the information that you can possibly ask, then you will get much faster to your solution. Then, as well, provide examples. Vanessa talked to it really, really well with the Garfield example. Give it an example what you're referring to. If you want to say, I want something like Garfield, say, I want something like Garfield, but maybe different. So give as much information to this learning models as much as possible, and that it will eliminate your iterations going forward, and you will get much quicker to your answers. Another thing with point 1 and 2, with the detail prompt and also the examples, you're actually learning that model to understand better context. The more information you give it, the better information it can return to you. And that's really important, because I spoke to one junior engineer, and he just asked Copilot the whole time questions. It's like, okay, so the code is wrong. Did you correct it when you found the solution? No. Why not? You are learning him to give you the correct solution. Tell them, Copilot, you're wrong. Really tell, I found the solution, this is working. And then the model can start learning. And next time when you ask them the same question, he will give you the right response. So that's really important. Constant naming conventions is really important. Keep it constant, keep it real, and keep it a standard. If you want a certain style, ask for a certain style. That's really, really important. Then open relevant tabs. As we said, Copilot really understands context. So if the tab is open, Copilot makes it easier to find it in your open tabs, rather than if it's not open, Copilot doesn't know about it. And then use simple steps. A great example is ask something. Okay, cool, you got it. Ask something more. Okay, not really. Ask about this. Ask about that. So build up your context as you go, and then also review the responses you are receiving from Copilot, and use your own discretion. Judge for yourself: is this really what you want? Is it correct? Does it sound correct? So just evaluate it for yourself and see if you need to adjust. And then please don't swear at AI. It's just AI. They make mistakes. They are learning. So please don't swear and say thank you. And please be nice to AI. If you're not nice, they're not going to be nice back. So yeah, that is points those last two. Be nice and respectful, because you never know. Maybe someday you'll AI might make coffee and pizza. Cool. That is my talk. Short and sweet. Any questions? Yes, Jade.
Well, I just wanted to say that it was actually really nice to hear such a short talk right after mine, because I felt like I talked on forever.
No, it's just this. Everyone knows Copilot, but do you know the bit deeper than the true meaning of Copilot? So I wouldn't have a talk about what is Copilot. I think everyone here knows what's Copilot. So why bore you with this stuff and just give you a bit more information, just a bit fine tuning. Yes, you had also a question.
Yeah, so like with the past few speeches, everyone's talking about the safety and everything to combat all this information.
Yes.
Would you think going forward, prompt engineers would have to have like an English degree to actually like create these type of things? Like to have the best descriptions?
Yes, I would think so, because especially with translations, if you code a multi-language support system, direct translation is currently what's happening in most places. And really to combat that is someone needs to understand natural process language. Your MPL models must be much stronger than just the general models today. So I would say that would be beneficial for moving forward.
Yeah, because any code monkey could write like some random prompt and then get a wild answer that's completely
Yes, and that's the problem happening today as well. As we spoke to the garbage in, garbage out, you get this far-fetched answer, and it's like, what are you talking about? That, yeah, no, 100%.
And if I might add on that, I think it comes down to the point of, as a dev, you need to know what you're looking for, but in scrutinizing detail.
Yes.
So if you're looking for maybe a certain method isn't working, or a method call is not doing what it's supposed to, you can use GitHub Copilot to do exactly what you need it to do, but with specificity. I think when it comes to using Copilot as a Copilot, it comes down to specificity. If you know what you want, you get what you want.
Yes, correct.
But if you ask it too general to, as an example, yeah, the scope is too broad, then you
Yes.
are gonna have a lot of these, I call them fake code, or like these wild scenarios that it comes up with.
Yeah.
When it's not even.
No, definitely, because I'm focusing on this method. I know what I want this method to do. So tell Copilot that. So Copilot knows. Tell them I'm working on this method. It needs to output X, Y, and Z, and I'm using maybe this pattern. This is my input parameters, and see then better conversation than just have fix my method, because what's wrong with your method?
Because what we were experiencing with our previous project is that a lot of our team members were using ChatGPT and Blackbox, and it was working, but
How
the scope-
efficient?
Exactly, the scope was too broad, because from a back-end perspective, we need to be very specific, because when one variable is off or a property is off, it screws up the entire schema when running through the application. But then you have UI, where they're like, okay, make a website, and you just copy and paste it, but then ID becomes a big issue. So we had to learn through iterations how
Correct.
to sort of how to basically prompt engineer, which I think should be more or less like a required class for maybe computer science students now, and
No.
then universities.
100%. Better?
Actually, for the gear, like a GitHub Copilot, when I check the website, they have different, like a Copilot individual, Copilot business, and enterprise.
Yes.
What's for individual, like what's the difference between these? Like, to your experience, you get a better quality of code, or
same models, the level and the features you get with the support. So but in the learning model for individual, business and enterprise is exactly the same, but with enterprise you might get single sign-on support, you might get custom model support, branding, those type of things, what you pay for enterprise. To give you an example, at Capitec, we don't want IP to go out, right? We only want to stay in, but we want to always get relevant information in, but never send out. That's where enterprise comes in. We can have a model that only draws always from the internet, but never publish what we asked out, because that's a security and compliance risk for us.
okay.
So that's the way where the individual one is just what you ask and what you tell, it goes into the public domain. And then the business support, when there's certain things go wrong, ChatGPT or Copilot is maybe offline, you get business support, enterprise support, which is not available with the engineers.
So you see if somebody wants to, because I want to, for example, go propose to my manager, okay, let's get Copilots. So
Get Copilot for Teams. There's a subscription, Copilot for Teams. That's what we use. So we have different teams, and different teams can decide. I want 7 engineers, so you only pay for 7 licenses. You don't pay X amount for enterprise support because you don't use it. There's a GitHub Copilot for Teams that has team subscription. It's a bit more expensive than individual, but less than business, because maybe you're only 2 engineers, so you don't want business because that's maybe 20 engineers, or a licensee, for example, where Copilot Teams is focusing more on the team models, specifically for 2 or 3 individuals.
Okay. Thanks.
Banner?
I'm just using this for one of the questions that we had in one of my sessions. And so that's just for everybody in the room. What do you guys use to kind of checkpoint, if you want to call it that, when you have a conversation? If I paste one line of code and the next conversation I have is, okay, now it's not working, and then iterate that 50 times, and I want to go back to version 37, what is everybody doing these days? Do you open a new chat? Do you keep it in there? Do you put in little pointers for the conversation?